وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُّدَّكِرٍ.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the Madinah Arabic Short Tutorial Series. We are in Book 1, Lesson 10 and Part 2. In the last episode, we touched on the two types of dhomeers or pronouns in Arabic. The first one was the separate or detached dhomeer, which we called dhomeer munfasil. The second type was the attached dhomeer, and we called it dhomeer muttasil. Let's refresh our memories by reviewing them real quick. We will start with the dhomeer munfasil in the usual order from third person, then second, and then first, and from mudhakkar to muannath genders in each person group. I will read them and you read along with me, okay? هو هما هم هي هما هن أنت أنتما أنتم أنت أنتما أنتن أنا نحن. Again, هو هما هم هي هما هن أنت أنتما أنتم أنت أنتما أنتن أنا نحن. So we call these ism type words dhomeer munfasil. We were first introduced to them in Part 3 of Lesson 4 and have been using a few of them already. One thing to keep in mind about these dhomeers is that they come in place of marfu' ism only. Here's an example usage. هو مريض. He is sick. Here we know that huwa is marfu' because it is the mubtada of the sentence. We know that the mubtada of the ismiyyah sentences are marfu'. The other way to look at it is that the dhomeer huwa is coming in place of a marfu' ism like Yasirun or Aliyun. Let's now review the dhomeer muttasil that we learned in the last video. We will go in the same order, but this time we will use them with the ism baytun. Let's read them together. Baytuhu, baytuhuma, baytuhum. Baytuha, baytuhuma, baytuhunna. Baytuka, baytukuma, baytukum. Baytuki, baytukuma, baytukunna. Bayti, baytuna. Once again, baytuhu, baytuhuma, baytuhum. بيتها بيتهما بيتهن بيتك بيتكما بيتكم بيتك بيتكما بيتكن بيتي بيتنا. If you notice, all these dhomeer words are coming as mudaf ilayh of the idafa combination. Therefore, they are coming in place of majroor ism here. We will later see that these dhomeers can come in place of mansub ism also. Because of the fact that these dhomeer words can come in place of both majroor and mansub ism, they are very important and frequently used words in Arabic, and they frequently occur in the Quran. So we should do our best to get better familiarized with them and pay attention to their usages in Arabic sentences. But if you think this whole list is too much to swallow at once, have no worries. As I mentioned in the last video, we'll focus on the 4 of them only in Lesson 10, and they are Baytuhu, his house, Baytuha, her house, Baytuka, your house, for mudhakkar singular, and Bayti, my house. And we'll learn the rest of them over the next few lessons of the book, insha'Allah. Let's practice with the first 2 of the 4, which are the dhomeer hu, as in Baytuhu, and the dhomeer ha, as in Baytuha. هذا طفل اسمه عباس. هذا رأسه. هذا أنفه. هذا فمه. هذه عينه. هذه أذنه. هذه يده. وهذه رجله. As you may have noticed, we kept using the dhomeer muttasil hu here, because we are referring to Abbasun, who is mudhakkar. هذه طفلة اسمها عائشة. هذا رأسها. هذا أنفها. هذا فمها. هذه عينها. هذه أذنها. هذه يدها. وهذه رجلها. This time we are using the ضمير متصل ها because we are referring to عائشة who is مؤنث. Now let's open page 57 of the book and go over exercise 2 at the top of the page. Here we need to either use the ضمير هو or ها depending on which gender we are using them for. Part 1. هذه البنت طالبة. This girl is a student. What do you think we should use in the blank for the next sentence here? Should it be اسمه or اسمها? We are talking about البنت, right? Which is مؤنث. So we should use the مؤنث ضمير ها. The next sentence will be اسمها زينب. Her name is Zainab. Both of these are ismiya sentences. In the first one, هذه is the مبتدا and طالبة is the khabar. What would be the function of the ism البنت then? It is بدل, a substitute for هذه. I hope you got it right. In the second sentence, keep in mind that اسمها is the إضافة combination. اسم is the مضاف and the ضمير متصل ها is the مضاف إليه. And we will only pick the مضاف of the combination to be the مبتدا of the جملة اسمية. And the ism زينب is coming as the khabar of the second sentence. Part 2. محمد طبيب. Muhammad is a doctor. Should we say وابنه or وابنها? It will be وابنه because we are talking about Muhammad. The complete sentence should then be وابنه مهندس and his son is an engineer. ابنه is the مضاف and مضاف إليه combination and the مضاف ابن is the مبتدا and مهندس is the khabar. Part 3. هذا الرجل تاجر كبير. Because we are talking about الرجل, we are going to use the مذكر ضمير for the blank. So the second sentence will be اسمه عبد الله. His name is Abdullah. These are also ismiya sentences. هذا is the مبتدا of the first sentence. الرجل is the بدل for هذا. تاجر is the khabar. And what is كبير doing here? كبير is the na'at for تاجر, right? In the second sentence, اسمه is the مبتدا وهو مضاف and the ضمير متصل who is the مضاف إليه مجرور. We talked about the ism Abdullah before. If you remember, we said Abdullah is the idafa combination meaning the servant of Allah. So we will say the ism Abdu is the khabar here. وهو مضاف and the ism Allahi is the مضاف إليه مجرور. Part 4. آمنة في الغرفة. What will be the correct ضمير for this blank? It should be أمها. The ضمير متصل ها here is referring to آمنة. So together, آمنة في الغرفة وأمها في المطبخ. The two ismiya sentences here are connected by the حرف العطف و. آمنة is the مبتدا. في الغرفة is the شبه جملة type خبر. And the اسم أم is the مبتدا وهو مضاف. And the ضمير متصل ها is the مضاف إليه مجرور اسم. في المطبخ is the خبر شبه جملة. Part 5. عائشة طبيبة. عائشة is a doctor. أخت is a sister. In the next sentence we want to say her sister is a nurse. How do we say her sister in Arabic? أختها, right? So the complete sentence will be عائشة طبيبة وأختها ممرضة. عائشة is the مبتدا of the first جملة اسمية. طبيبة is its خبر. After the حرف و, أختها is the مضاف and مضاف إليه. And only the مضاف أخت is the مبتدا. ممرضة is the خبر of the second جملة اسمية. Part 6 is a very nice example sentence. Actually, we are looking at a couple of فعلية sentences here, both starting with the فعل خرج. خرج محمد من الفصل. Muhammad came out of the classroom. This is the first جملة فعلية. In the second sentence, we have a couple of new words. The word مع means with, and معه means with him. مع is considered as ظرف, and معه is a ظرف and مضاف إليه combination. And the ism زميل is a classmate or a colleague. So in the second sentence, we should say his classmate came out with him. What will be the appropriate ضمير then? زميله, right? His classmate means زميله. So together we have خرج محمد من الفصل وخرج معه زميله. Muhammad came out of the classroom and his classmate came out with him. Because these are the fi'liya sentences, we should look for the fi'l and fa'il here. In the first sentence, kharaja is the fi'l, and its fa'il is Muhammadun. That is why it is marfu'. Min al-fasli is the jar wa majroor. After wa, kharaja is the fi'l of the second jumla fi'liya. What do you think is the fa'il of the second kharaja? Remember, the fa'il is the doer. We should find the one who is doing the action kharaja. We know that it's not ma'ahu. Is it zamiluhu then? Not really. Zamiluhu is the idafa combination. It is the mudaf zamilu only that is functioning as the fa'il here. That is why it is marfu'. And the dhamir muttasil hu is the mudaf ilayh. Okay, we're done with this exercise. This is a good point to stop. We'll continue going through the exercises of the lesson in the next video, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.